Most people think getting unstuck requires more ideas. They brainstorm, they make lists, they make mind maps, and they just end up with more things to be overwhelmed by. But what if the secret to a creative breakthrough wasn't to add more, but to flip what's already there on its head? I'm Dr. Abigail, the Innovation Doctor, and in the next 10 minutes, I'm not going to give you more ideas. I'm going to show you a simple, powerful system to make your existing problems worse, and how that paradoxically reveals the exact solution that you've been missing. We're going to break down 3 practical ways to uncover the brilliant ideas your brain is hiding from you. Please enjoy these tips from the last workshop that I did. What if creativity wasn't about having more ideas, but noticing the ones in your brain that are getting filtered out every day? Welcome to Your Brain is Hiding Ideas from You, a creative play experience with me, Dr. Abigail Joseph, the Innovation Doctor. Let's get to it. Your brain is designed to filter information. That is the way we are able to process everything that comes to us from our different senses throughout the world. This filtering helps us to move quickly, recognize patterns, avoid overload, but sometimes these shortcuts hide possibilities for us, and that's what we're talking about today. Most people think creativity starts with ideas, but really, it often starts with noticing the world around us, asking deep questions, reframing things that we see, but most importantly of all, having curiosity. When you observe something in the world, sometimes asking just one simple question like, why is this done that way, leads to accidental discoveries and new possibilities. So today, we are going to uncover 3 ways that you can get creative and play with possibilities in the world. Our first activity comes to us from the artist Duchamp. The artist Duchamp is famously known for taking ordinary objects and placing them in out of the ordinary context. So something like a bicycle wheel sitting on a stool, or a urinal that just sits on a platform in a museum display. Taking these objects out of context gives us new ways to assign meaning and possibility to these objects that seem pretty much like every day. Here's your first activity. What else could this be? Your job is to choose an ordinary object nearby you, or you can choose one from the alternatives that are on the display here. And your job is to brainstorm alternative uses, new meanings, or unexpected context. I will give you 1 minute to do this activity right now. Let's share music. So if you're having a little trouble, I'll start you off. A coffee mug could become your favorite planter. That should be enough to get you started. See how many things you can write down, how many alternatives, how many possibilities for the one object that you choose. I hope you were able to come up with at least 3 possibilities for that object. So let's reflect a little bit. What changed? Was the object different, or was your perspective a little different? Creativity allows us to change our perspective. And with that perspective change, we can come up with new possibilities, and then challenge assumptions that we have about particular objects. So the possibilities are there. We just need to challenge our assumptions of what things, these objects are doing for us in the world. Activity number 2, the 180-degree flip. Can you flip like that? There's no way I can do that. So if Duchamp was good at putting ordinary objects and giving them new context in meaning, if we do a 180 flip on things, we can change our perspective. Here's the activity. Reverse the assumption. The prompt is this. Take a common problem, ask, how could we make this worse? And then flip the answers. Here's a simple example. People procrastinate on their ideas. Let's make it worse. Well, if they procrastinate on their ideas, that's going to require probably a lot of perfectionism. They're going to be completely overwhelmed, and they're going to be a failure in public. Now let's take those ideas and flip the script on them and say, well, if people are procrastinating on their ideas, let's celebrate the messy drafts first. Let's shrink the task to something that's easier and more possible to get done. And let's create a support system for them. See what we did? We looked at those assumptions, made them visible, and reversed them. Now you try. I'll give you 1 minute on the timer. We'll reset it, and here we go. So you can take any problem that you're encountering now, in the past, something you think is going to be a future problem, and see if you can make that even worse. And then flip the script and see what reveals itself. All right. How was that? Hopefully you unveiled some assumptions and learned something new. So let's reflect. What changed? What became easier to see once you flipped the problem? Often our brains treat our assumptions as fact. We just assume something is going to be, and we all of a sudden think that is the truth. But this simple exercise of reversing the worst possible scenarios reveals to us some ways that we can challenge the assumptions we have about the problems that are occurring. Let's move on to our last activity. Then what happens? Often, if we ask this one question over and over again, we can reveal new hidden possibilities to the problem, the task, the event at hand. And if you don't have someone to ask these questions of, you can always grab your favorite rubber duck and talk to them. If you want to learn more about the rubber duck folklore, join us in my community. But let's get to the activity. All right, so this activity is called Follow the Possibility. The prompt is this. Start with one small action, then ask repeatedly, then what happens? This is an exercise to expand your imagination. So let's do a little scenario to get you warmed up. Let's say My small action is to share my idea online. Then what happens? Well, if I share my idea online, someone responds. Oh, but then what happens? A conversation starts. And then what happens? Well, perhaps an opportunity for a collaboration ensues. And then what happens? Well, then maybe we design a workshop together. And then what happens? I grow my audience more. See how it opens up the possibilities? And all it took was one small step. Now you try. Choose one small action that you can take in the next 24 hours and try this out. Then what happens? Let me reset the timer for doing 1 minute. You can always go back and do more, but for now, we're going to do 1 minute. And here we go. One small action you could take in the next 24 hours. And then ask yourself, what's going to happen next? Pretend like you're having a conversation with a friend, a family member, your favorite rubber duck. Well, I hope that you all have a list of possibilities that can go on, but most of all, I hope that list expands your mind to how one small action could lead to something amazing that you had never even thought of. So what changed when you did this activity? Did the future begin to feel more possible? This activity is about momentum and imagination. Many people, you are not alone if this is you, stop at uncertainty, fear, fear of the unknown, the first thing that gets in their way. But when you're able to expand the possibilities, that chain of great things continues. Curiosity helps to keep the storyline open, and asking that question, and then what happens, is one way to get at that chain and continuing the story and opening it up to a lot of possibility. And this is a great way to bridge your work and your context around your ideas to more experimentation, to getting those version ones out the door and keeping momentum of your ideas moving forward. What did we learn in these last 10 minutes? Possibility is often hidden in plain sight. The more you question your assumptions, shift your perspective, and stay curious, the more your brain will allow you to see. If you enjoyed this, you can uncover new possibilities with me in my community of other multi-passionates working on moving their ideas from stuck to execution, keeping in momentum, but most of all, being inspired and open to new possibilities. Thank you. If this workshop sparked something for you, best conversations are happening in my free community, The Hatchery. The link is in the description.